They say he's one of the 100 great astrologers of the millennium. Certainly he's the most widely read in Asia. He predicted the death of Sanjay Gandhi, the assassination of Indira Gandhi. But can he foretell what this interview holds for him? To find out, stay with me as I talk to Bejan Daruwala. Bejan, your friends and admirers say there's nothing you can't predict. So let me start with a little test. What is this interview going to be like?
This will be a mighty successful interview because I am a Cancerian. Today the moon, when we are meeting, is in Cancer. And you are a Scorpio, and Scorpios and Cancerians get along. And to make doubly sure, I have worn a lot of gold on my body. So if I add it all up, it means hit, super hit, mighty whopper of a hit.
Okay, that's wonderful. Let's see if it actually works out that way. You were...
Sorry, so shall it be. I have spoken.
You were born into a family of merchant weavers, master weavers in Gujarat. Was it a rich background?
Not rich, filthy rich. We enjoy money and we also enjoy helping others. We have our own street, our own schools, and we do spend a hell of a lot in charity, and that's the way we love it.
So this was a privileged family you were born into.
And I have never forgotten it, that I owe a debt of gratitude to my poor country. And believe me, I will never forget that.
Now you had a very interesting relationship with your father. You loved him, you hated him, you even have called him a tyrant.
Definitely, he was a man of power, physically, mentally, and also spiritually. And he was a big game hunter. My father, when I was doing my MA, my master's, he would sleep outside, all 250 pounds of him. That means very heavy. And he would say, "You bloody bum, shout so that I know that you are not sleeping, because if you sleep, it will be your last sleep. I will throw you and the books and the chair out of the window." And he was so strong, my God. He was a great wrestler, and so was his brother Dungaji, and his father was, and his father, that means my grandfather, he was 6'5", and he had a bicep which was 18 inches, means thrice of mine.
So it was a family of giants, not just financial giants, but physical giants.
Powerful.
At the age of 11, you had your Parsi Navjot ceremony, and there was a certain aspect of it which actually horrified your father because you did the unexpected.
You see, we are, in a manner of speaking, though all people are fine, Aryans. In a manner of speaking, I mean, otherwise God bless everybody. So we have to take the urine of the white bull, the urine of Shiva's white bull on our lips. Only then we are the true Parsis. So I like to drink life to the dregs. So I took not only a sip, but I filled up the whole thing and I just drank it. I just quaffed it. The technical word is I quaffed it in one big gulp, and then the terribly sour face I made, my God, because it was as bitter as quinine. But maybe I am therefore a thoroughbred Parsi.
And what did your father say at that moment?
My father said that if you are born mad, you poor fellow, how will you ever recover? But he granted me only one thing. He says, I will doubt everything about you, my son, but never your integrity. That's what he said.
Now, during your childhood, you had one very poignant, touching experience of human frailty and suffering. Your sister was unwell.
Yes, she couldn't walk well, and she couldn't speak very well also. And because of that, and I'm not blaming my parents, no. I'm just saying because of that, the attention, the love, the tender care which should have come to me went to her. I repeat, I'm not blaming. That's how the cards fell in life. And you must play with the cards God gives you, or fate. So, but I believe I was partially traumatized by it. I believe I was immensely hurt by it. But in course of time, I learned that this is how real life is, whether you are poor or rich.
And then, in time, when you got married, you have two children of your own that have also suffered.
Yes,
Did that make you more understanding of the way your parents treated you when you were young?
Even more than that, that makes me understand that in the race of life, we don't start on an equal footing. That in life so many things happen, and it is the way you react. You know, there was a very great Anglo-Saxon poet called Beowulf. He said, the greatness of man is to go to the end of the line, L-I-N-E line, and even beyond. Beowulf said the greatness of man is to go to the, that means you must be strong in suffering. And if you are dead, then you are a real man. I believe in it.
Now, I believe it was at the age of 5 when you first became aware that you had the gift of prophecy. What was it that made you conscious of this?
It was something uncanny. My father used this influence because he was a rich man and put me in Mount Carmel School for Girls in Ahmedabad. And I could convince these girls, a child of 5, that if I prayed for them, they would definitely pass in their matriculation exams. That time we had metric and not SSC, and the girls believed me, and I would go under a tree and say, Akarda, Makarda, Dakarma, Pauri. Yes, yes, fantastic. And the uncanny thing is that they passed. How, when, why, the Lord knows. But
so you even surprised yourself?
Definitely. That was one upon Bejan.
Tell me something. Thereafter, you were convinced that you had these special powers. But did you ever train as an astrologer, or are you self-taught?
No, not really trained, but I am happy to say that many astrologers have helped me. For example, before about 7 years, I was supposed to give certificates of merit to other astrologers. In that meeting in Ahmedabad, in that hall, there were 3 astrologers. So I made them stand up and I told the audience, they are at least as fine as I am. And they were so happy about it that afterwards, these 3 astrologers taught me every trick they knew. And believe me, they knew more than me. Then, now comes the clincher. Then I asked them, why is it that I am great? And you know what they said? Fantastic. They said, it is not your knowledge, it is only your faith. It is not your learning. It is the way destiny has dealt her hand with you.
But the interesting thing is that you've always been aware of the fact that you're great, as you put it.
Yes, but that was because of tremendous self-confidence, because I fought all the odds. Oh, actually, if you must know, my father was the highest paid weaving master in the history of this country. And if you must know, at the age of 11, we had a bungalow called Firdaus, which was one of the 100 great bungalows in the whole of India.
So in a sense, you've always had the hand of God behind you. You feel you've been chosen.
There is no doubt about it, and I have paid my price in blood, sweat and tears. Oh boy, nothing, there is a very beautiful line, nothing great is lightly won, nothing won is lost. Every good deed nobly done will repay the cost.
But the interesting thing, Bejan, is that although millions today respect your astrological powers, your father was never really convinced by them. There's a story that when you went to Manila and you were a resident astrologer, one of the hotels, he played a trick to get you back.
He bowled a real googly, and I'll tell you why. I was doing so well that our ambassador in the Philippines in 1969, Dhawan, and second string Chibar, they offered me a job. And I was a total outsider. And my father sent a telegram saying, father's dying of heart attack, come immediately. And when I went, that giant was eating a huge piece of chicken. And he says, Dumbo, did you not know that I am not going to die hopeless as an astrologer? He did like this, huge hands. He says, hopeless. In that one word, he smote me down. Clean beater.
Did it ever depress you that you can impress the world but not your father?
No. Ask me why. Because I was a born optimist. I don't know why. Nothing seems to matter. Nothing. No. The more the odds, the better the force. I fight with open hands and a clean, bare chest.
Okay, even if you never made your father one of those who believes in you, I gather that there are many film stars in Bombay, Prem Nath and the Kapoor family, who are adherents.
One thing I must say about my father. Last thing. He says, I may doubt everything, but never your integrity. That means the man was sharper than I thought. Never your integrity. What a compliment. Yes, I was with Premnath for 7 years as his court astrologer. Premnath's sister was the wife of Raj Kapoor, so I got the entire Raj Kapoor family, and they were wonderful people.
But did you find that film stars become very dependent upon astrological forecasts, that they became dependent upon Bejan?
Again a Scorpio like you, Premnath. It seems that Scorpio, even my son is a Scorpio, the third son who is a genius, and so are you. And if Premnath had, no, it's true, Premnath had blind faith in me. And let me tell you about a fantastic incident. We go to the shooting of a picture called Ahimsa. Sunil Dutt was there, and he was one of the directors. And it was the last shot, evening, imagine very simple, evening settling down, sun going down, drooping, last shot, and the horses refused to move. So Premnath suddenly turns to me and said, "Astrologer mine, can you tell me when these horses will move, or I will ride you? You tell me or I will ride you." And you know what I said? From where? I said, 5 minutes. And after they really stopped, and after 5 minutes when they shot, the horses moved superbly. And then Premnath asked me, "But how the hell did you predict this one?" I said, "One donkey knows another," and that's how I predicted it. Yes, I love to laugh at myself. And I think that is the whole clue. When I go wrong, I said, yes, I went wrong. And how I love to clown, you have no idea, my friend.
But it's not all clowning. You're being very kindly modest. You actually have been called by some of the big and the great in the country. I gather Dhirubhai Ambani has been consulting you.
Actually, Dhirubhai Ambani read my 199 annual horoscope. The publishers are Hind Pocket Books. And in that I had said, the BJP will win. No, yes and no, because of a tarot card number 4. And when he read it, he called me, and believe me, for all his wealth and for all his power, he behaved so decently, almost to the point of reverence, not respect, but reverence is a combination of love and devotion.
He called you to consult you for a forecast.
Yes, he sent his white caddy, but even I had a Duke, so no big deal. But that's all right. But he behaved very well, almost touched my feet, my God, and he asked me 2 leading questions. Not about himself, about the future of the country and about the future of his company. I said, India will be the superpower of the 21st century, and his face really lightened up.
And what did you say about his company? Forgive my interrupting.
Superb going.
And his face lit up even more.
No, not more than one has said about my country. That means the man is a patriot. The man is a true patriot. Yes,
Bejan, we're going to have to end it here for a moment.
Okay.
I don't want to interrupt you, but I want to come back in part 2 and talk to you about some of the amazing predictions you've made, which your friends say you've got uncannily correct. We'll be back in just a couple of moments. Don't go away. Welcome back to Face to Face. My guest is Bejan Daruwala. Bejan, let's talk about some of the uncanny predictions you've made. I gather you predicted the death of Sanjay Gandhi, the assassination of Indira Gandhi. What process did you go through to come to these predictions?
Let's talk of this Sanjay Gandhi thing. There was the former editor of Current called Mr. Muthana, and his wife had one child. So I asked that child to pick up the tarot cards when I was doing the future of Sanjay Gandhi. And the card which came was the hangman. And from that I got a clue, among other things, that he would have an accident and an air crash.
But were you able to predict the date of his death?
No, date no. But I was certainly able. I wrote this for M.V. Kamath of the Illustrated Weekly in the last word. In December it came, and in June he died. And I said the next 9 months were difficult.
Okay, so you weren't able to predict the day and the date, but were you at least sure that it was going to be a violent death?
Definitely. Crash means finish. A crash is a crash. A crash by no sense is a kiss.
What do you say to people who say that these predictions are so vague, they're not really predictions, it's luck, it's fluke?
They have a right to their opinion. Please understand. Everybody has a right not to believe. That's fine. Some believe in astrology, some believe in psychiatry, some believe in anthropology, and some don't believe in anything. And the greatest lesson of astrology is people are different. And therefore their attitude, their behavior patterns, their destiny will be different. And if an astrologer does not understand this, that people are different, then what type of a guy is he? Therefore, tolerance alone is the key to being a good astrologer. Forget being great.
Can I put a question to you?
Yes, please do.
It's a teasing question. I ask it half in jest.
Please, please.
You've had 2 marriages and they've ended in separation. Did you know this was going to happen in advance?
In a manner of speaking, my horoscope did show that because of malefic Rahu in my horoscope, it was possible. Now, I have not examined all the horoscopes which had this, but it did show. So, there was a tendency, there was an indication, and it showed. Yes, yes.
So this means that you at least don't take your own horoscope so seriously that it prevents you doing things. You take it with a pinch of salt.
I take it not with a pinch of salt, but with a bucket full of salt.
And is that what you advise other people to?
Well, I don't know about that. It seems that whatever I say comes true. So maybe they have faith. Maybe they have faith. For example, I believe when we first met, I told you that you will do better, and just now you are not doing worse. Right or wrong, point taken or accepted.
Point completely taken.
Fair enough.
Except that not doing worse doesn't necessarily mean you're doing better.
But you are doing better, aren't you, than before? Now you are with the BBC and God knows where. My friend.
Okay, let me ask you about the nature of astrology. Would you say it's an art? Would you say it's a science? Or is it an intuition?
No. By the way, thank you for this question. We Indians don't say astrology. We say Jyotishi. Jyot means light and Ish means God. So this is the light of God. It's in our Shastras, and the speciality of Indian astrology is, ask me what?
Tell me.
That only in India they have prayers which are in the Vedas for the appeasement of the planets.
So,
what a fantastic thing.
Astrology is a gift given by the gods to chosen people like yourself.
Astrology is meant to help to guide people, and many people have this gift. Even if you don't have this gift, you can learn and improve. But just as there can be only one Tendulkar, one Gavaskar, I mean, this is a gift, yes, but it can be developed. And the ESP part or the intuitive part of it is very simple. If I move my muscle every day, it will become bigger. So ESP also can be cultivated up to a point.
So the more you use this gift, the more you use this power, the more accurate it becomes.
Yes, because to rest is to rest. I'm saying it differently. You have to exercise. Even the world's greatest pianist says, you know what he says? If I don't play one day, only I know. But if I don't play for 3 days, the whole world will know that now I am no good.
Then how do you account for the fact that at the end of the day, although astrology, as you define it, is a gift, astrologers nonetheless live off the insecurities and fears of people? Is that not misuse of the gift?
My dear friend, psychologists do it, psychiatrists do it, counselors do it in the West, and in one fell swoop, you forgive all of them. And this, an astrologer who is very much in the psyche of us Indians, he is something like your anchor, and very surprisingly. Have you ever heard of an astrologer committing suicide? Never. Psychologists do it, psychiatrists do it, counselors do it. Ask me why they don't do it. Ask me
why don't they do it?
Because they have tremendous faith in the good Lord and in themselves.
But isn't there a sense in which astrologers prey on the weakness of human beings?
Not all, not all. Ask me again why.
Why?
Because water finds its own level. Indians are past masters when it comes to money. I'm sure you being an Indian, you know that. In a poor country, money is valued. Nobody will give money to an astrologer who...
Yeah, but the opposite is, forgive me interrupting, the opposite is also true. Hundreds of millions of people in India go to astrologers looking for some ray of hope. And many astrologers supply that to just make them feel better. But in doing so, it's a delusion.
Many times you are right, not always. You see, I am not here to defend anything. I am open. Many times you are right. But that holds true for, there are scallywags, swindlers in everything, in bankers, my God, scams and frauds and so just as we have it in all other departments and professions, we have it here, the good, the bad and the indifferent.
How does Indian astrology compare with Western astrology? Are we better? Are we more scientific?
We are different. Indian astrology goes by the position of the moon. Western astrology goes by the position of the sun. So the two are different. I synthesize both.
So yours, in a sense, is a unique Bejan Daruwala combination.
Yes, plus these tarot cards I use, plus palmistry, plus I Ching. But to me, this is not a profession. This is a passion. This is a passion, and the great Lord Ganesha has been kind to me. Correct?
Okay, tell me something. You say that astrology can be accurate, and you have been uncannily so. But can astrology therefore actually change the future before it happens? By predicting, can you change?
You see, it is like this. It is all about, we explain it by the theory of karma. As you sow, so shall you reap. But if you work conscientiously in now, you will reap the rewards later. So it is not totally fate-bound. It is not FAT, fate-bound. But astrology is about timing, as I said, a right person at the right place in the right time.
But can't you go further? By forewarning someone of a problem, of a danger, can you not actually help them avoid it?
Sometimes yes, and sometimes no, depending upon how severe is the damage. And this question is a typical investigatory Scorpio question. This is a very Scorpio question.
So in addition to being an astrologer, you're a character and mind reader.
No, but I understand people. I understand. And one thing I will say, I do not judge people. I understand, sympathize. Judging, no.
So tolerance is an important part of the qualities of an astrologer.
I mean because people have problems and people themselves become problems, which is a different thing. So you understand, you try to help. And astrology, ask me in one word, what is astrology all about? I'll give you in one word.
In one word.
Healing.
Okay, let me come back then to the question with which I began this interview. I asked you to predict what sort of interview it would be. You said it would be a hit. Has it been a hit?
Certainly.
And a hit that you're happy to have done?
More than happy.
Bejan Daruwala, thank you very much for talking to us, and good luck with your predictions.
Same to you, young man.